I picked up an Ls2 6.0 liter LS out of a 2007 Corvette, and we are going to be rebuilding this thing and putting it in my 2006 C6 Corvette. We're going to start by disassembling it, the fuel rails, the accessory drive, the coil packs, the valve covers, the manifolds, the intake manifold, and the heads. So to start the disassembly, we're going to start with the accessory drive. And this is the alternator, charges your batteries and whatever. Alternator off. Alright, so I got the power steering pump off. It's 3 simple bolts. Now I just got to take off, slide it up like so. Next thing on the list, we got the water pump. Alright, so the water pump's off. The motor does obviously appear to have been messed with because one, everything is painted. He just painted over everything, which I'm not a fan of. But there's new gaskets here, which is obviously a plus. We have new ones to replace them anyway. So let's keep digging in. The next thing's next is going to be the AC compressor. So we got the oil drain plug out. He said the oil was new anyway, so we have to drain it to rebuild it, and plus this thing needs a new oil pan gasket. He said the motor was around the dyno, which I don't think it was. So let's wait for this to drain out and move on to the next thing. Alright, so I actually got the wrong balancer puller, so now we're just going to start at the top, and then I'll go ahead and get the new puller and do that at the end. So we're going to take off these 4 coil packs. And I put the screws back in every part I take off. This way I don't lose track of what I'm taking apart, because it's kind of my first time actually taking apart and rebuilding a motor. I've taken one apart, but it never went back together. Hope it's not the case for this one. Onto the, I guess you can call it driver's side of the motor. Alright, well I never disassembled an LS before, but I learned something new. I don't know why I didn't just do that. So, whatever. Intake, well, fuel rails and injectors and then intake. Now the intake just seems to be these 6 bolts on each side. Alright, so I got all the hardware off that wasn't tight. This motor just seems unusual, so I'm hoping I didn't get robbed. Everything looks relatively okay in there. All the valves are there, which is good, and they're not rusty or anything severe. When I did buy this motor, I did rotate it and stick a borescope in the cylinder walls, and it all seemed okay. So now let's get into taking the valve covers off, which is just these 4 bolts and then the intake manifolds or the exhaust manifolds. These things aren't going to be going back on. We're putting something nice on here. There actually is really nice Kinetic multi-layer exhaust gaskets on here that are brand new. Alright, perhaps this is what I should have done when I bought the motor, which was look under the valve cover, but oh well. Well, it looks pretty clean under here. Nothing out of the ordinary. Springs look like they were out of Lightning McQueen, perhaps. But everything looks okay. No springs are cracked from what I can tell. Let's go take off the other side, see how that side looks. So this side looks to check out. I mean, you don't have any metal in there. There's no heavy residue. It looks okay. It's nothing to brag about. It's not like any chromoly springs or whatever. All right, so we are going to remove these rockers, and to do that, you do not want to remove rockers that have pressure on them. So for instance, this one has play. This valve is all the way closed. So now we can remove this rocker. We can remove this. This one stays, and we'll rotate the motor. This one's good. Leave that one, and then that one's good. So let's go ahead and take these off. I'm just gonna go ahead and crack all these loose. All right, so I have the passenger side of the head disassembled. I have it marked out. Just cut some holes in there and slid the push rods through. We'll jump ahead and do the driver's side. So I have all the bolts cracked loose. These push rods look just fine. Now that we got the rockers and the push rods out, we're gonna go ahead and start taking the head off. Just gonna crack them all loose first. Now that I got them all cracked loose, I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Now for the moment of truth. All right, so as of now, all this looks extremely good. There isn't any scoring in the cylinder walls. The pistons look good. They're not gouged or anything severe. So, as of now, we're looking pretty good. The bottoms of the valves look great. Nothing, no severe damage. The bottom of the head is also in good condition. There's any cracks or scratches. So, looks good. We're gonna jump in and start disassembling the other side. And voila. How's it look? Looks okay. Looks the same as the other side. Nothing to rave about, which is good. Because if we were raving about it, we'd have a bigger issue on our hands. Now we're gonna take off the valley cover. Got all the valley bolts out. Seems to be all good. Unless it's a blown hole in the block. I don't know, don't ask me. Now we're gonna unbolt the lifter trays and check out the lifters. All right, so the first set of lifters I took out looked okay. All of the rollers were rolling smoothly. Now let's see how this set is. All right, I'm on the last set of lifters. It's good they're not stuck in there or anything. And the rollers are rolling just fine. All right, so now that I have 99.9% of it disassembled, the only thing we're missing is the harmonic balancer and the timing cover and the oil pan. So we are going to be sending these heads to go get decked. Basically just mill the surface of these to give a little more clearance. And it's a fresh seat just in case these might be warped a tad bit. But for the plan for this motor is we're going to put a hog ass cam in this thing. We have a BTR red hot cam kit coming in the mail along with some other things like gaskets and timing gears and whatever else. So let's go ahead, load these in my truck and bring them to the machine shop. I do already have the Brian Tooley valve springs, so I am going to drop these off at the machine shop as well and have them install the valve springs and the valve seats as well. So I ran to Hobo Freight and got this balancer puller. So let's go ahead and start pulling that balancer off. So I got the puller all mounted up. It's slowly coming. I've never done this before either, so. It is getting easier to tighten the tool, and I do see it slipping off. So we must be doing something, right? Oops. And take off these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 timing cover bolts. All right, so we got the cam sensor out. Nice. All right, this makes me pretty happy. Well, one, they have a nice Velcro gasket on there, which is always good. Reusable. Are we gonna reuse it? No. Was this seal bad? I don't think so. I think it was just residual, but either way, we're gonna replace it for security because this is not easy to do on a C6 Corvette. But I'll tell you what, there's a new oil pump on here. I'm gonna run the numbers on this to see what pump it actually is, because I was not gonna replace it because it's kind of like a budget build, but we're looking good so far. Everything looks good in here. The gears are marked for the timing. Chain looks new, doesn't have much wiggle room in it. So let's go ahead and take this oil pump off, and we're also gonna take the oil pan off. All right, so I'm slowly figuring this out. I've never done this before either, so. All right, now let's go ahead and pop these bolts off. All right, so taking off the oil pan, I didn't know that there was 2 bolts right here. Just wasn't paying attention. It's pretty dirty. So we're gonna have to brake clean that out when we go ahead and do reassembly, obviously. All right, so we got the oil pan off, obviously. We're gonna go ahead and take the pickup tube off because the pickup is relatively dirty, if you could tell. There's some minor debris in there that we're gonna clean out. Now I'm gonna take this piece off. So there's access to the crankcase. That looks all clean and good. Now we gotta look inside the crankcase. Looks all good. Not that I know what I'm looking at, but there's nothing standing out. All right, so I got the motor flipped back over. Now we're gonna take off the oil pump. And then I am gonna have to pick this up with the cherry picker and take off the flywheel. The reason I didn't do that was because it was raining out and I was just in a rush to get this thing out of my truck as quickly as possible. So now I'm in a predicament to where, you know, can't really rotate that motor, even though I'm supposed to rotate it, take the valve springs off, whatever. It's already apart. So I have to pick this thing up with the picker and then go ahead and take the flywheel off. All right, so now we're gonna take off the gear. And the gear and the chain look very new, which is good. All right, and here we have the retainer plate for the cam. All right, so now we're gonna thread 2 water pump bolts in there to pull the cam out. And there we have the cam. The gentleman told me he put an OEM cam in here when he rebuilt it. All right, so that is going to conclude it for this video. Quick overview, disassembled the 6 liter. That's literally it. Basically the top end, everything except the rotating assembly. So the next episode, we are going to be installing a BTR red hot cam and some other parts, and making sure that this motor is completely sealed and ready to go in the C6 Corvette budget build. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.